And we are going to start in a child's pose or a pose that feels comfortable for you. So we'll just let the knees either stay together or go wide. The body can come forward, just allowing the body to feel in a relaxed position. So it might not even be that the arms stretch completely forward. Maybe you actually like to have, you know, the elbows giving you a little bit of support here. So just letting the eyes close down. And just starting to feel the body become settled onto your mat. And as the body does begin to settle, there's other parts of ourselves that will start to arrive with it. So as you're here in your child's pose, whatever variation works for you, you're just going to be coming into this knowing that eventually each part of you will arrive when it's ready. So you might have your physical body here, but you might still be thinking about some other things that have been pulling your attention today. You might have your physical body here. You might have the mind that's, you know, starting to arrive, but maybe your energy is not really focused and still a little bit connected to whatever it is that you were dealing with or exposed to before you came into this practice. So just be patient. Know that each part of the body will arrive in its own time. And when you're down here in this child's pose, this gives you an opportunity to just allow for space and time to be probably the biggest factor in creating an environment where the mind will arrive, where the energy will arrive, and then we come into this union and this connection between all parts of ourselves. So just continuing to soften here in your child's pose. And coming into this idea of kind of dropping little by little through all parts of the body. We're going to be here for about another minute or so. If you haven't done so already, just paying attention to maybe the rhythm of your breath. You can pay attention to the sound of your breath. Maybe you like to pay attention to the count behind your breath, if that helps. Overall, we're looking to bring emphasis on our breath because we're looking to have it become more natural in the body. So sometimes emphasis on the breath brings the breath to an unnatural place where we're overdoing it. So just being mindful, being aware if that ever is happening for you. Feel your sitting bones sinking down towards the heels or the mat. Feeling the arms, maybe they are not along the sides of the body, maybe they're stretched out forward in front of you. And if they are, then you can notice the length. And even if they are along the sides of the body, you can still notice the length from the shoulders dropping all the way towards the tips of the fingers. Feel your face and your jaw especially relax and soften. And just letting that really sink in. This approach to your intensity or whatever lies ahead, this approach that involves a lot of relaxation at the same time. So we're dealing with this constant dance between effort and ease. We're coming into the last few breaths here. If you're feeling like you want to add a little bit more of a dynamic energy into your child's pose, you might start to reach a little bit more energetically with the fingers towards the top of the mat. You might also start to come into a bit of movement, perhaps swaying side to side. The movement can come from the head or the chest. Just starting to feel into which areas of the body are really resonating in terms of who's speaking to you, who's opening for you, which part of the body is a little bit silent or sleepy. And sometimes it takes us a while to notice those things. Maybe a few deep inhales and big sighs at the end here. Okay, and we're going to really slowly allow the hands to walk in, and we're going to uncurl the spine one vertebrae at a time until you're coming all the way up with the chin lifted. The eyes might still be closed. If they are, when you're ready, let them open. You can blink a couple of times if it's a bit bright for you. And we'll come forward onto the hands and the knees, tabletop, just taking one leg back at a time, just coming into a little pulse through the heel. So your toes are tucked under at the back of the mat, feeling that stretch and that length in the back of the calf and the knee, and then coming into the other side. Tucking toes, pulsing through the heel. Doesn't matter which leg you're on, just as long as you've done both. Just feeling that opening into the back of the leg. Okay, good. And from here, we're going to be standing up onto the knees. So with the knees, you want to make sure that they are roughly at a hip width distance. Definitely they can be expanding a bit more if that feels stable for you. Okay, it doesn't have to be so specific in the body, but just something that does feel natural for you. So we'll start to breathe in. The arms are going to go out to the sides. Breathing in, we're going to go up. Bring your hands palms together into a prayer position, and then from here, open up the hands palms and high five the ceiling. We're going to push up, up, up towards the ceiling and hold here. So when you push up, you want to make sure your ribs, they stay in, they don't flare out, and your pubic bone is lifting up towards your belly button while your tailbone is slightly dropping down. So push the palms up, reaching nice and high. For 3, spread your fingers. For 2, you can make your neck neutral if that feels better. For 1, as you exhale, we'll slowly let the arms relax down beside the body, and we're going to turn the backs of the hands in towards one another. Inhale, lift up, keeping the backs of the hands towards one another. So with this movement, rather than the elbows going up, we kind of want the elbows to go down, so then we stretch just a little bit to the backs of the wrists, and then we're just going to roll through the backs of the hands here. So elbows kind of come close and then away. Just rolling through the backs of the hands. Okay, good. Let's go out to the sides again. Inhale, reach the arms out. Breathing in to go up, flip the hands, palms looking up towards the ceiling. Now this time, put a little bit of a squeeze between your inner thighs. As you look up, you push high to the ceiling, pull your ribs in, not to the point that you can't breathe, but just to the point where you notice the difference between the ribs coming out and the ribs drawing in. This will also make a difference in the position of your pelvis. When the ribs flare out, your tail wants to stick back. What we're trying to do is pull the ribs in and scoop the pubic bone up towards the belly button. Push 3, spread fingers, 2 and 1. Exhale, let the arms relax all the way down. And from here, backs of the hands come together. You're going to bend the elbows, and then you can rock from side to side through the hands. Side to side. That's it. And then from here, you're going to make a fist, curl in, fist bump against one another, and then you're going to rock the elbows side to side here. Up and down. Good. Okay, we've got one more like we've just done. So let's let the arms relax. Inhale, reaching up nice and high. High five the ceiling. Look up. Push up. Squeeze the ribs in. Now, even when the ribs come together, we still don't want to limit the breath capacity. So keep the breath moving. Push up towards the ceiling. Tail is slightly down, pubic bone is up. Now be mindful to not overdo this. We can definitely overdo it. You don't need to. Just enough to notice that you're not arching and back bending through only the lower back. Good. From here, exhale, let the arms relax and soften down. Then opening up, make a fist, curl that fist in, internal rotation, and coming around to the front. Coming around, tap the wrists at the back. Coming around to the front. Coming around, tap the wrists at the back, and again, to the front. Last time, coming around to the back. Good. Let's let the hands release down. You can give them a shake if you want to, and we're gonna start by coming onto the forearms. So, down onto the forearms, we're gonna start first with the hands, palms flat, and the fingers nice and spread. We're just gonna work on shifting the weight forward, shifting the weight back. Forward and back. So you want to feel that when you come forward, there's a very significant difference than when you're neutral or when you're back, yeah? So you want to feel that you have to use a lot more of your arm strength. Now the next 3 times that you come forward, try to squeeze your elbows as close together as you can. They're not going to move, but it's just that energy of squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. This will give you much more support. Elbows in, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze as you lean forward. Push the hips back. Try one more. Elbows squeeze, squeeze, squeeze as you lean. Push back. From here, inhale up onto the knees. Reach the arms all the way up. Hands, palms come together. Exhale, draw the hands, palms into a prayer position. Good. Okay, from here, lowering the hands, palms flat down. Spread the fingers nice and wide. We're going to tuck the toes under. Round into the spine. Take your knees and hover them away from the mat, and then slowly lifting up into your downward facing dog. So take your time to come up. We're going to sort of oscillate between our down dog, a little bit of reprieve for the upper body, and then some of that forearm work. So go for your own movement here. Lift, lower the heels, bend, straighten the knees. Let your tail move around in order to feel length in the body. Feeling a bit of shifting. And when we come into things like our forearm stand, our dolphin pose, our headstand, it's all about shifting the body weight and all about where the tail is in relation to the upper body. So here in our downward dog, our tail is reaching further back. Our hands are pushing down, but we're still working into that pushing action through the hands. See if you can find some stillness in your down dog. Give yourself freedom to have a bend in the knees, space between the heels and the mat. 1 or 2 more breaths here. Looking maybe between the thighs or up in towards the belly, long in the back of your neck. All right, good stuff. Okay, from here, we're gonna bend the knees a little bit and walk the hands all the way to the back of the mat. Let the head hang, let it drape down, let it shake out, and uncurl the spine coming up to standing, taking your time to lift all the way up here. Now, because we're gonna be working on our dolphin pose, forearm stand, headstand, the back of the body really needs to be open, so we are gonna take just a little bit of stretching for that. So let's take the weight over into the left knee. Right leg is going to come forward. We're going to reach the arms all the way out towards the side. When the leg comes up, you're going to try and tap the toes with the fingers. So let's go. Reach, tap. Good. Open, heel lowers. Reach, tap, open, heel lowers. One more. Reach, tap, open, heel lowers. It's not a big deal if the fingers don't touch. Let's actually take one more. Reach and tap. And then open, heel lowers. From here, this is where we dive forward. So bending still in your standing leg, straight into the long right leg. Now you can come onto hands on the thigh. You can come hands onto the shin. You might have blocks that support you. Okay, so from the side, you want to feel that the tail is going back and the spine is going long. We're not trying to round and curl. So lots of length. You might really be feeling it into your supporting left leg right now for 3, long spine, 2, and 1. Good. Inhale. Let's come all the way up. Step the feet together and shake out that left leg. Might be a little bit tired. Okay, so shifting the weight over into your right leg this time. Bending in the right knee. Kick forward through the left heel. Inhale. Open. Exhale. Lift. Maybe you tap. Whoa, maybe you fall. Open, heel comes down. Lift, breathe, tap. Good. Heel lowers, open arms. Again, leg lifts, tap, lower, and open. Let's take one more. Leg lifts, tap, lower, and open. From here, forward fold. So again, hands can be on the thigh, shin, fingertips, blocks, whatever you need. Just make sure that you are not creating rounding in the spine. You want to have lots of length, lots of opening through both sides of the spine. So we're not just creating opening through one particular area. You kind of imagine like a turtle coming out of its shell. 3, keep extending forward. 2, long spine. 1. Okay, inhale, coming all the way up. feet together, and you can shake that out. Right, let's take the arms up, breathing in. Exhale, fold all the way down, walk into your downward facing dog, fingers nice and spread. Tail is lifting high because you push the hands. The lift of the tail really comes from the bounding of energy into your hands' palms. Take a couple of breaths here and notice if you're maybe already starting to create restriction in your breathing. Every time we come into strength-based postures, we tend to hold the breath. So here we're trying to bring awareness to that. Okay, let's let the knees lower down. Again, we're gonna come onto the forearms. So hands, palms flat, fingers nice and spread, and we're gonna shift forward and back. So it's like you're trying to tap your chin to the mat and back. Shifting forward and back. Now the last few, squeeze between your elbows. If you have a block or an object, it really helps to put something there so you squeeze it. Sometimes people do this with a strap, but usually the strap, it just sort of is a crutch rather than squeezing into something. Come forward one more time, squeeze and lean, and coming back. Good. Plant your hands, lean forward, tuck your toes, hips up, downward facing dog, and right away walk the hands all the way to the back of the mat. Let your head hang down, back of the neck nice and long. Let's uncurl. Take your time. Good. Breathing in and out. Okay, one more time with our leg. So the weight is in the left leg, the right heel is kicking forward. Open up the arms here, reach the leg, tap for 3. Lower the heel. Tap for 2. We're actually gonna do 3 this time, not like last time when I lied. Tap, last one. Lower the heel down. Now this time, you're gonna step the foot forward. It's a big step. Turn the back toe slightly out, angle to the left, and then you're gonna twist over towards your right. Twist and twist and twist, reaching your fingers, your arms in opposite directions. And then as you twist to face forward again, keep your back, left hip forward. Pause in the center. So we don't want this. Keep that hip forward. Come all the way forward. Lift your chin and pause there. So you want to kind of be in this tabletop position. So spine is really long and really extended. And then we're going to take the front toes and try to lift the toes off the mat and flex the foot. Holding there. So we're really using the strength of the leg in conjunction with the flexibility. Toes back. Now let's let the toes lower down. Let the body lower all the way down and come into your stretch. So again, hands can be on the shin, the foot, framing the front foot, long through the spine, feeling the back foot really anchored down, especially the outside edge of the back foot here. So the body weight is slightly shifted into your front foot rather than hanging back with the hips open. Last breath in this position. Okay, good. Inhale, we're gonna reverse. So we're gonna come up, maybe a little bend in the front knee, come up halfway, pause. Inhale, all the way up, pause. Going into your twist again, look over to your right, twist. Good. Let's reach up high with the arms, lean into the front foot, and then step to the back of the mat. That's it, good. Let the arms relax, come to the other side, shift the weight over into your right leg. Kick forward through the left heel, open the arms. We'll take 3 lifts here, go ahead. 3, and open. And 2, don't worry if you can't touch the foot. Open, just reach. 1, and open, good. Step to the top of the mat, big, big step here. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Make sure your back toes, they're not forward, slightly angled out to the right, squeezing between the hips. Exhale, twist over to your left, reaching long through the arms. Now keep your right hip forward as you bring your body centered. Good. Lift the chest. Come forward halfway and pause here. Spine is long, Back of the neck is crease free. Maybe the front knee has a little bend in it. Let's take the front right, left toes and peel the foot off the mat. Front left toes. So you're maybe just on the heel. Flex the foot. 3. Long spine. 2. And 1. Lower the foot all the way down and lower the body down into your stretch. So just pay attention to your hip alignment. You can test it out. If you really excessively shift your body weight forward in your front foot, then you'll have a little bit too much weight. The hips will be out of alignment. If you shift your body weight completely back to your back foot, again, hips are opening in the direction that we're not really wanting for this pose. So shift your weight forward enough and then pause to know and feel where you're centered. Holding here. 1 more breath. Okay, good. Let's put a little bend in the front knee. Inhale, lift up, halfway, holding here, long spine. Again, inhale, come up all the way. Let's come into the twist, reaching, left arm back, right arm forward, twist, 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 and then inhale to go all the way up. Good. Lean into the front foot and step to the back of the mat. Right away, fold the body down, walk into a downward facing dog. Good. Go for a little bit of a dance through the heels and the feet if you need to shake it out somewhat. And we're going to come into a few more movements with the forearms. So let's allow the knees to lower all the way down. Now you can do this standing up on the knees or kneeling down. Completely up to you. Okay, the arms are going to come all the way up. We're going to high five the ceiling just like we started. And from here, we're going to bend the elbows without trying to have the hands track in or out. Okay? So elbows will bend. And we're just going to stop halfway. This is as if we are balancing on our forearms on the mat. As if we are like this, yeah? So that's the position that we're trying to go for. Okay, and you're just going to work on squeezing the elbows towards one another, keeping the hands, palms, the fingers spread, like your hands, palms are going to high five the ceiling, and then we're going to push up towards the ceiling. Good, and then bend the elbows again. So now the backs of the wrists are lengthening out, your hands, palms are flat, just as if you were on your forearms. Squeeze the elbows in towards one another. 3, squeeze. 2, squeeze. 1. Oh, it's burning. Push up, push high towards the ceiling. We've got one more round like this. Bend the elbows. Whew. Reach the fingers back. Squeeze the elbows towards one another. 3. Keep the forearms parallel to the ceiling. 2. Squeeze forearms. 1. Good. Push up towards the ceiling. Exhale, let the arms relax and soften down. We'll just take a little bit of reverse movement with that. So it doesn't matter which elbow, just take one elbow underneath the other, give yourself a squeeze, lift up, and exhale, pull down. Good, do it again. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, pull down. We'll swap sides. So whatever side was underneath, do the opposite one. Some of you that do eagle arms, you're more than welcome to. If you prefer this, okay? Inhale up. Exhale, pull down. Good. Inhale up. Exhale, pulling down. Okay, inhale, come up and let it shake out. Right, let's come forward again onto the hands. Now we've done 2 sets with the hands, palms flat. Now I'd like you to explore this maybe next step, which would be to interlock your 10 fingers, okay? With this, I like to tuck my pinky finger in because otherwise I feel like I'm kind of wobbly. So I tuck my last pinky finger in, push the elbows down so that you're not collapsing and sinking, and try to separate the wrists away from each other. So there's a little bit of a gap, a little bit of a space, and let's go. Shifting forward and back. You can release the thumbs. You can tap the chin to the thumbs and back. Forward, squeeze elbow points and back. Forward and back. 3 more. Forward and back. Last two, tap the chin, and back, squeeze elbows, tap the chin, and back. Good. Let's release the hands, palms flat, lean forward, tuck your toes, look in your belly, hips up. Downward facing dog. Go for a little bit of a walk here in the body, lifting the tail by pushing down through the hands. And this time, we're gonna walk to the top of the mat. So we'll look forward, lift high on the toes, take one foot, flex the toes towards the shin, and then the hip of that foot lifts to bring the foot a little bit further forward and steps down. Again, high on the toes, take the other hip to take the opposite foot forward, and you just keep walking like that. You can come onto the fingertips when you need to. Bend the knees as much as the body is asking. Let the head hang once you reach the top. And uncurl, coming all the way up. Reach the arms high. And exhale. Palms in prayer. Okay, so we've done lots of stuff now to open up the backs of the legs. We're sort of starting to get this idea of pressing in through the arms, and we're just gonna keep going with that, but in a slightly different position, okay? So we're gonna take the left foot back, the right foot is gonna stay forward. We're gonna have that back knee hover down towards the mat, and in this position, you can always drop the back knee if you need to, but in this position, this is where we are gonna take some arm movement. So inhale, sweep it up. We did this already when we were on the knees, okay? Bend the elbows, straighten the wrists. Squeeze, elbows together. And now here, we're gonna take little shoulder shrugs, like, I don't know, and down. Shoulders up, down. Shoulders up, down. Good. Up and down, up and down. Last time, up and down, and then squeeze the elbows in. Lower the hands down to frame the front foot. Step back, high plank position. And we're gonna take 5 little mini shoulder push-ups here. This can be done with the knees down if you need to. So let the chest relax a little bit, then push away. Again, chest relax, and push away. 3 more, relax, and push away. Relax, push away. Last time, sink. Push away, look in the belly, hips up and back, downward facing dog, and right away walk to the top of the mat. The hip lifts the foot forward to come all the way up. Let the head go down, then uncurl, coming up to standing. Good, okay, inhale, reach it up. Exhale. Let's go to the other side, taking the right foot to the back of the mat. Let the knee hover. Again, it completely can drop down if you need to. Inhale, the arms are gonna go up, push towards the ceiling, and then straight through the wrists to bend the elbows. That's it. Now, go with these little shoulder shrugs. As you do it, it's not so much you want your shoulders to come to the ears, but it's that you're pushing yourself away as if the floor was here. For 3, good. For 2, and 1, and squeeze the elbows towards one another, hold, squeeze, 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 and then looking down, plant the hands, step back, high plank, 5 little shoulder lifts, go ahead. Let the shoulder blades come together and push away, elbows don't bend. Little sink and push away, 3 more. Little sink, breathe, push away, 2, little sink and push away, last time. Little sinking down, push away, look on the belly, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Okay, let's let the knees lower down to the mat, just lifting the body up. So when we get into some of these positions, there's a lot of different schools of thought as to whether you should have interlocked fingers, palms flat, hands sort of just tapping in prayer, a block between the hands. We are all different in terms of which muscles are a bit more dominant, which areas of the body are a bit more open. So I encourage you to find what works for you as we try some of these different things. So we've done palms flat, we've done fingers interlaced, okay? So we're gonna come forward again, and this time we're gonna grab onto the elbows and take our shift. So this is just kind of a little way to, again, measure. It's gonna be a little bit different where the body weight is going and how we can push it and pull it away. So grabbing onto the elbows, go ahead, shift forward, 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 back, back, back. Be mindful of shoulders here. You're probably not going to be able to come as far forward as you used to with the other versions. So we're just trying into that. You can always swap it around, forward, forward, and back. Good. Shifting forward. So as we do this, you might find that you need to have both of the outsides of the wrists on the ground. Okay? Try different variations. We're not looking to go super far at all. One more, shifting forwards. Okay, good stuff, you guys. Sitting down. Take one elbow, bring it under the opposite elbow. Doesn't matter which one it is. You could be here. You could be in your eagle. We'll go up. Exhale, pull it down. Inhale, lifting it up. Exhale, pull the elbows down. Okay, inhale, let it go, come into the other side. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, pull the elbows down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, pull the elbows down. And release. Breathing in, the arms are going to go all the way up. Exhale, let the hands lower down, spread the fingers. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Tail is lifting high, fingers are spread nice and wide. And from here, looking towards the hands, and you're going to step one foot to the outside of the mat, and then the opposite foot to obviously the other side of the mat. So we're just going to work on shifting the body weight forward. I want you to take a really wide, wide, wide step. Super, super wide, okay? And shifting forward, shifting back. If your hands, palms are not already flat, take them flat now. Again, shifting forward, shifting back. Forward and back. Two more. Forward, back. As you go forward, see, can you lift your heels? And back, we've got the last one. Shift forward, lift the heels, and back. Good. From here, step back to a downward facing dog. Tail is lifting nice and high. And then we're going to come down onto the knees and onto the forearms right away. So down onto the forearms here. So you can choose, would you like hands, palms facing in? We haven't really done this one yet. Hands, palms facing down, fingers interlocked, pinky finger tucked in. There's lots of different variations. So we're going to push down through the elbow points, and instead of going forward and backward, we're going to take little shoulder push-ups. So let it sink, 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 and push away. Good. Let it sink, sinking down, and push away. Two more. Let it sink. Your shoulder blades come towards the middle spine. Push away. Last time. Let it sink, and push away. Good. From here, you're going to look down towards your knees and hover, not touching the crown of the head in the space between the elbows. And here, you're going to tuck your toes under, and you're going to hover your knees away from the mat. We're here for a count of 20. Keep pushing the elbow points down. Good. 15. Try not to lift your bum too high. The knees are just hovering above the mat. 10 seconds. Squeeze the elbow points towards one another. Make sure that you're breathing. Here for 5. Squeeze elbow points together. No weight on the crown of the head. 3. Almost there. 2. No weight on the crown of the head. Push the elbow points down. 1. Let the knees lower. Untuck the toes. And slowly lift the body up all the way. And exhale there. Shake it out. Okay. So with this, we do really want to be mindful of the push that we get. So we're going to take a little sequence where we're working into some dolphin pose, which is pretty much like what we just did, but the tail is lifting high and the legs are starting to come into a slightly straighter position. We're going to work in our dolphin pose. We're going to do some single leg work, and then we're going to work to have the crown of the head connect and then disconnect from the floor so we can see how that feels, okay? So we'll first just take a little bit of cactus, because that's going to feel nice for the shoulders here. cactus, and then we'll open it up, turn the hands palms and lift the chin. So really turning the hands palms so that those pinkies sort of rotate back. Good, and then palms face up again, cactus the arms, and let it shake out. Okay, let's go. So coming onto the forearms, again, you might start here, you might end up here. There is no right or wrong. It's really a personal preference, all right? So let's go. Tuck the toes under. You're gonna let your eyes go towards your knees. The crown of the head is not touching the mat. Push the elbow points down. Let's take 3 push-ups here. So the crown of the head is lowering, and then you're pushing away. 2 more. Crown of the head is lowering, push away. Last time, crown of the head is lowering, push away, and then lift the knees up, up, up. Good, holding here. Now, at any stage, if you feel like you need to take a break, please do so. Make sure that you really feel that squeeze between your elbow points and that you're pushing down through your forearms, through the outside of the wrists, through the fist, through the elbow points, and you're gonna allow your legs to straighten as much as feels good for you, and as walking the feet in as much as you can. So it's all about the tail lifting up into the air, holding. 3, squeeze elbows. 2, push down. 1, good, gently let the knees lower, untuck the toes, inhale, coming all the way up. Whew. Let's bring the arms up. We're gonna cactus them. And then again, stretch it out to the side, turn the palms up, lift the chest. Rotating here. That's it, good. And then looking forward, palms are facing up. Again, cactus, and on the cactus, a little squeeze between the shoulder blades, and then shake it out. So now we're gonna take shifting forward, okay? So when we shift the body weight forward, it's exactly like we did when we did those little push-ups, when we did the little shifts and we were on the knees. We came forward and here. We're gonna do the exact same thing with the tail in the air on the feet. If that's not working for you, just do exactly what I just did there, knees and shins down, okay? So find the position that you want with your forearms, with your hands. It can help to try different ones as well so that you're not coming into too much of a sinking habit with the body. Go ahead and tuck the toes under, push down through the elbow points, look towards the knees, hovering the crown of the head, knees lift up, up, up. Feel how you're lifted, and you might walk the feet a little bit in, pushing down through the elbow points to have space between the crown of the head and the mat, holding here. Good, and then you're gonna look forward. You might have to walk the feet a little bit back for this. We're gonna take 5 shifts forward. 5, shift it forward, and then look to your toes. 4, shift it forward, look to your toes. 3, shift, look to your toes. 2, shift, look to your toes. Last time, 1, shift, look to your toes. Let the knees lower down. Inhale, uncurl to come all the way up. Okay, cactus the arms again. A little squeeze between the shoulder blades. Open the palms and then rotate those pinky fingers. So right now my palms are up and then I keep rotating, looking up. Good, okay. Coming back to neutral here. Cactus, again a little squeeze and let those arms relax. Okay, so we did lots of those little shifts. We're gonna take one more thing in our dolphin pose, single leg work, okay? But by now you should really be feeling where the push of here comes into play so that you have space between the crown of the head and the mat. We're not looking to smash that down, okay? So coming forward, finding the right position with your hands, whatever works. Pushing down through the elbow points, first getting that lift. That's where you want to start from. Then look to your knees and lift your hips up into the air. Right away, let's take one leg, it doesn't matter which one, up into a 3-legged dolphin position. So you can have the opposite heel of the foot that's on the ground, close to the ground, or high on the toe. I like to come high on the toe because that helps me to shift my weight to maybe eventually hop, if you want to, off of that foot. You can take 1 or 2 hops here, push down to the elbow points, and then lower the foot down. Inhale, come into the other side, opposite leg goes up. Same here, pushing the elbow points down. Again, you can take a little bend in the standing knee, hop. If you want, hop. As you hop, push the elbow points down. Then lower the foot, lower the knees. Inhale, coming all the way up, and shake it out. So you guys have got one more thing that we're gonna do here. Okay, let's take again the cactus arms, squeeze between the shoulder blades. Then open palms face up and scoop and rotate back. Good, opening chest. And then palms will face up again as you turn your gaze. Cactus, a little squeeze. Let the arms relax. This time, we're gonna take the arms behind the body. Reach, reach, reach behind the body. Squeeze your hands, palms together, then bend your elbows, interlock your fingers, and reach the fists back. Lift your chest, lift your, that's a combination of chin and chest if you didn't know. Chin and chest lift. Good. So I can feel getting pretty quivery in my muscles. Let it go. Let it relax. So all of that work is typically a lot harder than what we're going to go to next, which is our sort of headstand work. Again, we're looking to still have space. In this headstand, we're definitely having a lesser gap between the crown of the head and the mat, but it is still very much there. We're not looking to plant our head down, so then we do this. We're looking to push away from that, and it's going to be a slightly different position, okay? So let's do it. Coming onto the elbows, you can always measure here, okay? We're all going to be slightly different. Some people might go elbow to wrist crease. Some people might go fingertip to fingertip. I always find that because our natural tendency is to spread out, it's better to start a little bit more in. This will force you to use your strength right away, so you might fatigue quicker, okay? So just see how you go. All right, then we're gonna come forward. This one is definitely an interlaced grip. I, again, like to tuck my pinky finger in up to you, and instead of squeezing through the hands' palms or keeping the backs of the wrists completely open, see if you might find a neutral spot, okay? So we don't necessarily wanna bend into the wrists, but we also don't need to squeeze super tight. So you might have a bit of a space. And then you're gonna allow the gaze, just like we've done in the past, to look towards the knees, and I want you to feel the crown of your head actually touch the ground. Feel it touch the ground. Then from here, a little bit of a lift. So the back of your head is still touching towards your wrists and a little bit of your forearms on the inside of the arm there, okay? So again, feel the crown of the head touch down. You can even put a bit of weight on it. It's pretty safe here. Then just a little push away. Good. Then from here, you're going to tuck your toes under. And you're going to rock your body weight slightly forward, round into your upper back a little bit, and lift your knees up off the mat. Now you can feel there's a bit of weight on the crown of the head, but it's not drilling down into the mat. Walk your feet in, pause here. Make sure that at any given moment, if you needed to lift your head off the mat, you could. You're not putting so much weight down that you can't. Lean the hips up, come high onto the toes. We're gonna be here for about another 5 breaths. Pushing down through the elbow points. If you have any variations that you'd like to try here, you can. Otherwise, just get the stable foundation. Tail is lifting, pushing elbow points down, knowing that you're not drilling the crown of the head into the mat. Last breath. Good, let the knees lower. Whew. Untuck the toes and uncurl. Tomorrow, if we can't lift our arms above our head this much, that's why. This is why, because of what we've done today. Okay, good. Let's take one last sequence, cactus, and squeeze, elbows, shoulder blades. Good, open it up, scoop it a little bit forward. Turn the pinky fingers back. Good. Neutral, cactus, squeeze. Let it go. Let's take the arms behind. Squeeze the hands, palms towards one another here. Good. Then you can come into interlocking your fingers. Stretch and reach. Good. Okay, let it go, let it shake. Now, if you really, really want to try your headstand by bringing the feet off of the mat, I'll show you how you can do that. You can do it with me if you want. If you just want to take a break, take a breather, you can. If you want to just work on that position, if you're like, no more, I am done, that's fine too. Just do what you want to do, okay? But otherwise, I'll give you some time to come into a little bit of your own free play. Again, if you're wanting to go into headstand and you're wanting to take some weight off the feet, you're going to set it up the same way. There's the push, the crown of the head that's pushing into the back of the hands slightly, okay, but not completely, yeah? Then round into the upper back, tuck your toes, and lift the hips. From here, if you're wanting to work, you would take one heel, squeeze it into the buttocks, and then shift weight off that foot, lower the toes. Trying the other side, one heel into the buttocks, shift. If you try and go hopping or fast, you're probably going to push yourself off of balance. So you want to make sure that it's slow, it's gradual, and it's controlled, because it's all about the tail lifting up so it stacks over the upper body so the feet suddenly become weightless. If the bum is back and we try and hop, we're going to do this like that. And we're going to really crunch, okay? But we want to push away from that, pushing. All right. So I think we might have had enough of doing all that stuff. So let's swing the legs around to the front of the mat. Okay, we'll give them a little bit of a bounce. You guys did awesome. It's not easy doing those things over and over again, but you do work to create some new pathways in the body. You might windshield wiper the knees a few times. And when we create those new pathways in the body, it's kind of like paving a dusty road. And then the next time we go to do those movements, the body has a memory in the muscles. And so we don't have to work so hard over time to actually remember to push. It's a bit more ingrained and habitual within us, okay? So we're just gonna take the legs into a crossed position. Doesn't matter which one you have in front right here. And we're gonna take some side stretching into the body. So let's take the left hand down towards the mat. Sweep the right arm across and open through here. You can turn, you can keep the gaze neutral, or you can look down. You can also move the hand out to the side. Just notice if you're lifting up through this sitting bone. Sometimes you can use the push of this hand to anchor, which also gives more squeeze of the ribs into the belly button, which allows more reach through. It's almost like you're trying to take weight off of the left sitting bone. You can almost think of it like that. Okay, good. Let the arms sweep down. Let the head sweep down. Go to the other side, pushing right hand down, left arm reaches across. Open through side body. Again, you can push into that bottom hand, or you can just let it soften a bit more. But you'll notice as you push, you anchor through your left bum cheek more. And that in turn will give you more reach, more stretch through the side body. But there's so many different ways and methods for us to create opening. Let's bring the chin down. Come through. Inhale, lift all the way up. Let's swap the legs to the other side. Good, and from here, we're just gonna come forward with the body. Let the head drop, and then inhale, come up. Lift the chin tall. Exhale, let the head drop. Inhale, lift the chin tall. Okay, let's take some little worms. So we're gonna come forward, and then as you get to the bottom, pull your chin to your chest, pull your body weight back. Inhale, lift up. Coming forward, down, pulling in, back, and up. Good. Forward, down, pulling in, going back, and up. Let's reverse it. Curl chin to chest first, then come down, forward, chin forward, going up. I always say it's like the yoga worm. Curling and rolling through, chin forward, lift up. Chin to chest. Good, and then coming back into your neutral spine here. We'll take the legs forward, bending into the knees. Shift yourself forward enough so that you are able to actually lie down on your back. We'll take our time, so reach the arms forward, and you're gonna go nice and slow. Take your time. Rolling down the spine. Go slow, slow, slow. And then let the head relax down, let the arms relax down, and just feel the body start to surrender effort and intensity. Relax the jaw and soften through your neck, your head, and your shoulders. All right, we're going to come into a little bit of stretching for the body. We'll come into our reclined cow face. So I'm going to show you guys from the side. Laying down on your back, we'll just bend the knees, soles of the feet flat. We'll take the right leg over the left leg and cross the thighs here. From this point, then you're going to take the bottom foot, the left foot, and lift that up off the ground. So in this position, the legs are crossed. If the hips are quite tight, you might find that this is more of a core exercise for you than anything. So what you're going to want to do is make sure that you grab the hands and just draw the legs in. Perhaps you're not able to grab the hands towards the knees. You can always grab around the backs of the thighs. Alternatively, you can extend this bottom leg up a little bit, and that can sometimes lean the hips towards you. Also, if you need to, you can take a prop, a towel, or a block and stick it underneath your sacrum, and that will sort of tilt your hips up if in the event your legs are so far away from you that you cannot grab them. Okay? From here, if you're grabbing onto the legs, then you're going to gently pull them in towards you. You might grab knees, backs of the thighs. You might grab shins. You might grab ankles. You might grab toes. Now, depending on where you're grabbing, you want to think of drawing your feet out to the opposite sides. So your left foot goes to the right, and your right foot goes out to the left. You can also hook onto the outer edge of the feet. It really just depends on where your body is permitting you to go. So where you'll typically feel this is into the right glute. It should be quite obvious where you feel that. And if it's not happening for you, then I just invite you to be curious in your body and sort of shift around until you feel that. You might also be tensing into the pelvis and lifting your tailbone off the mat. Try to relax it down as much as you can. Relaxing the whole spine down to the mat. And from here, we're going to slowly let the grip go on the legs wherever you're at, lowering again the left foot down towards the mat. And we're going to come into a twist. So if you would like to twist with the legs wrapped around each other, you can. So you might even wrap your right foot around the back of the left calf. If that's too much, just keep your legs in this half sort of wrap position. And we're going to let the knees drift to the left. Before you do that, move your buttocks over to the right. Let your knees drift over towards your left. And you might like to open up the arms. If this twist is still too much, straighten completely into your left leg, bending only into the right knee. Alternatively, both knees stack on top of one another. And then you can look over towards your right. So there's quite a few twists that will be beneficial. And the arms, again, they can cactus. You can go for a down cactus if you want, stretching through the front of the shoulder, or you might go for the arms over the head. We've done a lot of arms overhead action, so you might want a little break from that. Couple more breaths here. All right, just take your time to readjust the position of the head. In any way that feels good for you, slowly coming out of your twist. It could be legs together. It could be one leg at a time, up to you. So we'll take now the left leg up and over, so a crossing on the thighs. And then from here, we're gonna lift the leg into the air and come into this reclined cow face position. So again, if you need any props underneath your sacrum, or you can grab behind the legs or over around the top, really that's up to you. You can draw the knees in. Maybe if you're reaching more towards the shins, then the feet can open out to the sides slightly. You can grab onto the toes, outside edges of the feet. And so on this side, we're working to feel that stretch into the left buttocks now. And again, noticing where you might be rounding into the spine. Where can you just flatten the spine a little bit so the chin comes down towards the chest. The spine is long. Shoulders relaxed. Just a few more breaths. If you are grabbing somewhere towards the feet, then you can use the hands to draw right foot to the left and left foot to the right. Good. One more breath here like this. Try to soften into the shoulders. Even with the pull, just soften as much as you can. Okay, we'll slowly let that go and then gently allow the right foot to come down. Now the legs can stay here. You can wrap the left foot around the back of the calf. You can have the knees side by side. You can also hug the left knee and straighten the right leg. And no matter which option you take, the knee and or the knees are going to go over to your right, but you might like to shift your buttocks to the left first. And then allowing the twist to slowly make its way into the spine. Again, whatever position you'd like to take with the arms. And you can always turn the chin and look over towards your left. Feeling the shoulders relax and going soft. Breathe here. Relax through the arms. Especially in the twist, you really want to let the belly soften. The eyes can close if they're not already closed. And just notice which parts of the body can stand to let go a little bit more. Imagine softening and opening into those areas. Last breath. All right, if the head is turned, gently reposition the head. Come into a gentle unraveling of the legs if they are raveled up, and slowly coming out of your twist. We'll let the hips readjust. Maybe you'd like to take a little squeeze of the knees in, maybe even rocking from side to side. Maybe the forehead draws in towards the knees, squeeze in tight. And exhale. Let the arms go. Let the legs go, and just come into your Savasana here. If the eyes are still open, let them close down. Just coming into this relaxed position for you, a position that feels good in your body, a position that really is welcoming in terms of how the body can start to move from and transition from the intensity and any residue of that to now coming into this softening and this letting go. Particularly through the feet, let them relax. Particularly through the hands, let the hands relax. And coming into that softening now through the face, the lips. You might even open and close the jaw, the mouth a couple of times to relax that area. Feel your tongue soften away from the roof of the mouth. The back of the neck, soft. And the heaviness of the head that you feel into the back of the mat. And that overall heaviness through the whole body as it sinks and drops down, feeling the floor just hold you and support you here. Feel free to stay here as long as you would like to. Just take your time to gradually allow yourself to come back into that sense of harmony in the body after exertion and work. Thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in. It's always a pleasure to practice with you.